to Coffee Time, episode number 9 or 10. We're on episode number 10. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. It is great to be coming back to you live. It's been a while. It is the 21st of September, so many of you might have known, but I just got over my latest bout of COVID. Well, I mean, it's been a little over a week now, so I'm feeling a lot better. I was definitely exhausted, and this one was bad because I ended up with strep somehow. And I couldn't. My throat was so bad I couldn't talk. I lost my voice, which of course for us is horrendous. And on top of that, I couldn't swallow, and I couldn't sleep, so I didn't sleep for days. It was a mess, but fortunately, I've come out of it and doing a little bit better. So I'm definitely feeling a lot more like myself. So I am excited about that. If you are new here, make sure you put your name and where you're from in the chat, so I can say hello and welcome you. Also, feel free to ask any questions or anything that you might have for your voiceover business during our coffee time this morning. So today I put on the docket to talk about the gig economy and how for us gig workers, if you will, how is it looking for the future. It's always something that I'm interested about. How are things shaping up? I follow a lot of news, and recently there's been a lot of new studies put out, by Bloomberg and a different bunch of places about trends and what's coming up with the gig economy and what we can expect. Is it growing? Is it retracting? A lot of us feel like it might be retracting, but all numbers kind of point to the opposite, with a lot of growth. And I think that has to do too because so many people are still switching over to wanting to work from home, wanting to leave 9 to 5 jobs and work from home. So I think for us, that's a good thing because what will happen is more and more people will be looking for services as well. So you'll have you'll have freelancers, gig workers or whatever who are looking for other gig workers too, right? Because they're going to be searching in places where they are working too. And I think that's another important thing to take in consideration. This is the time I think to double down on, building your business online and going for it, in voiceover, just simply because the sheer amount of continued growth and pushback. There's so many people, we live in a different world now. It's evident, right? We live in a world where people don't want to go back to work. They rather work from home. Um, by the way, if we're talking this morning and I have a cough or so, just know I'm still kind of getting over COVID. But like I said, I'm definitely feeling a lot better. And also some interesting things with Fiverr and Upwork, a lot of short-term investment going back into Fiverr. If you follow Fiverr at all, their stock prices, they've been down a lot. I mean, a ridiculously amount, right? I mean, I think the high for the 52-week high was literally at 210, and the low I think is right now it's in the 30s. So you're talking a massive swing, right, on the low end. But there's been a lot of short-term investment, and I think that just indicates, how a lot of people, especially during times like this, where the economy might not, might be slow, things might be getting tougher. People are going to be like, I need to make a change. I need to do something. I need to make more money. I need a side hustle. I need more, right? And I think it's going to flood more, just continuously having more people come into the market, which I've seen. I was concerned that a lot of people would go back to work and, the kind of to split the gig economy. But, a lot of people, even if they're going back to work, they're not stopping. Now, the reason why I think that's important to us as voice actors is because, we have to understand that a lot of people who are hiring us are also doing the same freelance things that we're doing. So that means that, when you're going to market yourselves or you're thinking about how can I get voiceover business, right? It's important to look ahead and say, well, who am I actually going to be marketing to? The old rule of thumb is we market to video production companies, we market to, we get with agents, and that still holds true to some extent. But there's a massive audience out there, a massive group of clients now who are freelancers just like us, who are doing work from home, who are building their businesses, and they need our services too. And because they are becoming more familiar with how we're working, they're more apt to feel comfortable working with us because now they know where to find those services. So it's an interesting thought, right, about where you are marketing. I always thought something like with Fiverr, if you had, and Fiverr doesn't allow you to do this, so don't do this because you'll get in trouble. But if you could market to the other services on Fiverr, you'd have an endless supply of business, right? I mean, all of them, whether they're marketing their services, right? They need voiceovers for their videos alone. I mean, just the hundreds of thousands or millions of services on there that need voiceovers. Okay, just go around any of the other verticals and see that they don't have any, voiceovers on videos or anything like that. Or video their video productions themselves, whether it's social, whether it's some sort of video products. I mean, think about product reviews even. I mean, there's so much stuff that is available for us to promote ourselves to other gig workers, freelancers, that it's a good trend. It's a good piece of news to watch. So I just wanted to share that information. I think it's a great time to think about who you're marketing to, and make sure that you're marketing to the right place, and also to the future about who's going to be purchasing the most from us. All right, well, let's take some time to listen, see who's watching today. We've got Jeremy Jones. What's up? It's good to have you. Nice to see you. Jim, man, it is good to see you, Jim. It's been a while. Looking good, brother. Thank you so much. Yep, I am feeling a lot better. It was pretty bad there for a while, but I'm feeling a lot better, so I'm happy. And I got this antiviral stuff from the doctor that really worked well. It had awful metallic taste, but it did a number. So that was really good. So that helped a lot. And then I had to get stuff for strep, so I had to get a Z-Pack, and then I had to get some prednisone, but that helped a lot. Really helped. And so I'm very happy to be back and up and running. So thank you, Jim. Max, what's up, Max? Good to see you from sunny Spain. Awesome. Must be late there. What time is it there in Spain? Is it 5? Is it 3 or 5, depending on where you are in Spain, I guess? But it's great to have you, Max. Let's see. SF, you sound great now. That's good. I'm glad. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Brent, what's up, Brent? Glad you're feeling better. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Me too. It is nothing worse than that. COVID sucks. I mean, it really does. It sucks. It's not good. I mean, I think I've had it a couple times, but this one was worse. Let's see. Good morning, Catherine. What's up, Catherine? Good morning from Apple Valley, California. Cool. Glad you're feeling much better. Thank you. Can you speak to breathing techniques while doing VO sometime? Yeah, absolutely. So, when I first started, it was very difficult. Breathing felt taxing. It felt like I had never breathed before in my life, right? I was always out of breath. It sounded always like I was gasping for breath in the middle of voiceovers. And what I realized was a lot of my breath issues were a function of not reading well out loud. And I realized that, my brain, because I couldn't read ahead, and because I was uncomfortable reading out loud, and I was making, I thought I was making mistakes. I didn't like the way I sounded. I was constantly thinking about, well, I don't know what's coming next. I don't know what I'm saying next. So my breathing was always taxed. It was never just normal. And so I went down this road of spending a lot of time working on forcing myself while I was reading out loud to read ahead. First it was couple of words, 3, 4, 5 words, just trying to read ahead as I was reading out loud. And what I found was the more I was able to read ahead, even though it was extremely uncomfortable at first, it was very uncomfortable. So don't think it's supposed to feel comfortable, because it's not, especially if you've not done it before. But, I found then that it solved about 90% of my breathing problems. Now, the other part of the breathing is that you've got to let go this stress or worry about it, and understand that, at this point, I manually get rid of a lot of breaths, right? I just manually get rid of them. It's become natural, something I do with my voiceover work. Before this, I had a quick political spot that I did for Voice Jungle. And, I did the spot. I did my 3 takes. I always do 3 takes for 150 words or less. And, as soon as I was done, I came back out here. I hit my pre-saved rack to clean up my work. And then I hit the play button so I could listen through these 3 takes. And while I was listening, I copied, because this was supposed to be 15 seconds or less of a spot, I was deleting a lot of the breaths and that extra room to make the voiceovers a little bit shorter, right? In order to hit that 15-second mark. But you can copy and paste blank space in there, room tone, that's something that, and then what I do is I just push play and let it play. And then I'm in front of the playhead, literally either deleting or copying pasting, room tone over the breaths. And I go through it so that I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, I have a magic mouse for my Adobe Audition, which allows me to scroll using my, so if you don't have that, and I have Adobe Audition, you have to actually move a box, on the top part of Adobe Audition. It's a lot more of a manual thing, where this allows me to move the entire piece effortlessly. So I've spent a lot of time trying to combine things to where they go easily together. So that's what I do. I literally it's just a habit now. Now, whatever you do, I know people are always looking for shortcuts, but don't take a shortcut on this, because deep breathers do not work. It's very difficult for a deep breather to even determine when you're is there more of a breath, and are you saying words that are more breathy? Is that breath, part of the ending of a word, or where does it begin and end? And deep breathers will end up taking your word, they will end up taking the ends of your words, messing up in the middle of words. It's just not worth it. Now, at long form audio, the best thing that you can do is start working on reading longer. We had reading longer passages. We had somebody in our Avio's Journey Elite Academy group, and she had, Erica, an amazing idea. She said she had heard it from a voice and diction class that she had taken a while ago. But this is a fantastic. By the way, on a side note, this is why it's a really good idea to get into a group like Avio's Journey Elite Academy, so that you can have, amazing ideas and resources like this. But anyways, her idea, what she just said to do, I just saw this yesterday, was to get the 50 states and repeat them in alphabetical order. Okay. And, from beginning to end, and don't, start from the beginning and see how many you can go without taking a breath. and practice this on a daily basis, and force yourself, fill up your lungs and push out as much as you can. A lot of times you won't realize how much breath you actually have in there. Just go to Google, type in the alphabetical list of the 50 states, and just start reading through them on one breath, and you will get better and better. You will train yourself, because there is part of this also that, just like singing, you've got to train your voice to go longer, and to build that breath capacity with your lungs. Okay. And what you'll find is, just like tongue twisters, over time, it will become a lot easier. Something that helped me, I did a string of financial books, audiobooks from the turn of the 19th and 20th century, right? So, from 1890 to 1910. And these books were, literally, I think at the time, these people wrote, a sentence was like 7 sentences. There was never a period in this. Like, a paragraph would be just one sentence. So because of the flowing idea, you can't pause. There's not really a pause in there. So you had to really force yourself. You're literally like taking a breath to read these things. And it's just training you in your brain to start to work on knowing where you can breathe and where you cannot breathe, but also training yourself to realize you can actually push yourself to go further. And the more you read, and by the way, and then combining that with the reading ahead, you'll know where you can breathe and where you can't breathe. Okay, so that was a really good, that was from Erica Holden. She's amazing narrator, and she has a great idea. So check that stuff from a Vio's Journey Elite Academy special. It's a good deal with that. By the way, there's a link below if you want to check that out. We're offering 50% off the first month. Try us out. You'll love it. Let's see. Good question, by the way. Okay. Max says your advice about Fiverr. Since your advice about Fiverr, I've had the best month so far. Awesome. I will be speaking to you soon regarding coaching. Many thanks, Anthony. That's awesome, Max. I look forward to it, my friend. Thank you. Congrats. Kathy. Hi, Kathy. I love how you spell your name, by the way. Yay, my first live since I found your channel. Happy Wednesday. Glad you're on the mend. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Suong from Southern California. It's great to have you. Let's see. Welcome back from Thailand. Hey, Jay, it's good to have you, and welcome too. It's good to see you from across the world. I love it. Angela Clark. Hey, Angela, it's good to see you, my friend. Glad to see you on the mend. Thank you so much, Angela. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Same regarding gasps. Yeah, it really, it's funny. It's nuts how much we have issue breathing when we breathe nonstop our whole lives. And there were points where I would be doing voiceovers and I was out of breath. Have any of you guys experienced that? And I would be like, why am I out of breath? This is the most ridiculous. I'm sitting down. So I think, again, it's just this idea that, there's all, by the way, on a side note too, and I think this is a fair thing to say. First and foremost, when you're just starting out too, you're not comfortable. This is not comfortable. After you've done thousands and thousands of voiceovers, and you've done hundreds and hundreds of audiobooks, and you've read, or you've talked out loud, you will, you don't have to do that many to forget, but I found that it was definitely, after a couple hundred voiceovers, or definitely more audiobooks, 10, 20 audiobooks, I was getting more comfortable, right? You got to get comfortable. It's a skill. Right, it's that, unless you've read out loud, or you were in speech, you did a lot of speeches where you're reading, do you know what I mean, words and speaking and making them sound like your own at the same time. I had never done that. I'm an actor. I performed, but all my work had always been memorized work that I had time to practice and turn into my own kind of character. Where what we do, like that spot I was doing right before I got on Coffee Time, literally I got the script. It was supposed to be a fast turn. Like literally I got the script, read it, did the work, and moved on. Like there was no, it was done in a few minutes. You know, there's no time for me to memorize lines, to work, to what's my character motivation, and ponder over it. So we've got to get really good at reading out loud, okay, and having our confidence about our deliveries. Okay, and the best way to do that too is just to keep practicing and pushing through and doing some of these things I just mentioned. Let's see. Catherine did first DIY demos on Friday. Nice, congratulations. That's my DIY demos. It's all I've ever done. I've always done. Now I do demos for other people now because I do realize there's time and there's constraints, and some people just don't want to learn how to do them. But personally, I've always done all my own. And, I love doing my demos, but I love it. I kind of actually enjoy putting the story together with music and with voice and effects. It's kind of fun. But yeah, but awesome, Catherine. Jay says, my audiobook is almost done. 7 out of 8 chapters. Congrats, Jay. That's always a good feeling. Only thing is she's all over the place and keeps repeating herself. You'll find a lot of books. It's interesting when we do this. When I was doing a lot of audiobooks, you definitely, the level of writing, you can tell when someone's like outsourced a translation, or it's well written. It's real. It makes such a big difference for us reading it too. Such a big difference. Let's see. Ozzy says, hey, what's up, Ozzy? Hey, Anthony, man, good to see you again. It's been a long time. It has. Life is something else. It sure is, man. It sure is. Ozzy is another amazing story. Awesome guy. Was a teacher and was able to come home and do voiceover full time. And I had the privilege of working with Ozzy. So it's really awesome. Congrats, Ozzy, on everything. It's good to see you, my friend. I hope the family's doing well. Let's see. Got to take the kids to school. Have a great day. You too. You too. Catherine says, I like the 50 states idea. Yeah, Erica, that was a great idea from Erica. It really, everybody in our group was really excited about it. So let's see. Is it McCady? Hello, how are you? I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry if I messed it up. Let's see. Hey, Anthony, haven't been able to get to the academy classes in a while, but hoping to get back in there eventually. Absolutely. Listen, like I said, I was out. I was out for over a week. Just like that, and I couldn't do anything. And there's the kids going back to school. That's another thing. It's getting but it's just like we were talking about with voiceover. You will get more comfortable. You will get back into a grind. Back into a comfortable schedule, and you'll feel better about it. So I understand exactly what you're saying, but don't beat yourself up. Anytime, come on back. Let's see. Real Big Mister Neil. What's up, Neil? I love your name. Good to have you, my friend. Thank you so much. It's good to be back. Scott, thank you so much, man. I'm feeling a lot better. Let's see. Mecha D. Pronounced Blaze. Blaze. How many names? How many names do you have, Blaze? Well, hey, everybody, listen, thank you so much for your time today with me. I really appreciate it. It's always good to have coffee and talk and catch up with everybody. So again, just to bring it back today, the gig economy, I think, is continuing to grow stronger. There's going to be retractions. There's going to be recessions. There's going to be ups and downs in economies. But I think it is clear to me, and it is definitely safe to say that, we are living in a different world, and it will always be different. We will be able to work mobile, unlike any time in history, and I like being on that cusp. So I think it's going to continue to grow, and all evidence seems to prove that way. So, keep rocking and rolling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and check out the Academy. I'd love to have you. Also, by the way, just real quick, there are a couple links down below for some of the gear I'm using today. I did a little video yesterday about the Bee, the Neatworker Bee. I did a review on the Neatworker Bee mic. It sounds fantastic. It really does. It's comes in this really cool package here. I mean, it was in a box. You can check it out. I just love the way this thing looks, though. I don't know why I'm just chatting with you guys here, but I love the way this mic looks. I did the review yesterday. I'm just smitten with it because it's $79. You know, $79, and you know, if you haven't seen the video, check it out. It was yesterday, but it also has also comes with this nice pop filter. Or not pop filter. It does have a pop filter. This is the pop filter on top of the mic, but it has a shock mount. Literally sits in there. It's really fantastic microphone. Sounds. It's warm. Not a lot of noise. This is all metal, so it's very stable. I really like it. I really like it. I'll make sure I put a link down below for the Worker Bee as well. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and happy Wednesday, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Take it easy.